Hello and welcome to another video from Sandra at Sandrascraftstudio. Today we will be sharing with you a playlist of videos for the Tag Buffet class, together with my demonstrator colleague Gina Connor. Here is the Tag Buffet stamp set that we're going to be using today, and I hope you enjoy the class that Gina and I are running for you today. Here is my first card that I'm going to be sharing with you today. It's quite a quick card apart from the fussy cutting. So my base card is half a sheet of A4 card cut lengthways and scored through the centre. My next layer is a matte layer of Whisper White card that is cut to 10 centimetres by 14.3. You'll see that I've gutted already the centre out for one of the embellishments on the front of the card. Next I have a piece of our 'Tis the Season designer series paper, and I've cut that to 13.8 centimetres by 9.5 centimetres. This will be adhered on the top there as well. Like so. So to stamp our greeting, I've come back to the Stamparatus, and I'm just going to take you back a stage to where we gut the middle of this piece of card. So I'm going to anchor this into the corner of my Stamparatus. The circle that I've already die cut out of there, you could actually stamp on here and then cut it out before you make your card up. But what I'm going to do today is just showing you how you can actually make this work for you. So I've got the stamp here that we're going to be using. It's from the Tag Buffet stamp set. So I'm going to place that in the middle of that circle. And I'm going to pick it up on the Stamparatus. I'm going to lift that up. I'm going to place my circle back in there. I need my cherry cobbler ink pad. The Stamparatus plate actually goes downhill here, so I like to put the stamp set underneath to make it a nice flat surface. So we will ink up the greeting. Okay, a good coating of ink on there. And then we will stamp in our circle. Pressing nice and firmly. There's no magnets holding this in the right place, so on this occasion it wouldn't actually be able to line up again. So there's our greeting, absolutely perfectly. Now I'm going to use this time, so I've taken this piece out, and that greeting can go on there. This is a laminated copy, so that won't matter. I can wipe that down later on. They're water-based inks. So I bring back these two. This is the sentiment, and it's going to lay on the cherry cobbler layer here. So I'm going to just put some adhesive on here to bring those back together. Doesn't matter about getting it straight at the moment, just even border all the way around here. So it's just a little hint of cherry cobbler around there. And then we're going to take our small guillotine, the Stampin' Up trimmer. And what we're going to do is to take a slice off this edge, making sure that it's straight to the words. So if the words, imagine they're sitting on a line, and you're going to take this over as far as you can without actually taking off the S of memories. The longest word. So cut that down. Take care because we're going through two thicknesses. Okay, and there is our piece there. You'll bring the card back on. I have some foam pads here. We're going to raise this up in the top third. So I'm going to put some Stampin' Dimensionals on here. Okay, and then lay this on here. Using about the top third, it wants to be higher than half, and making sure that the line here is lined up with the edge of the designer series paper. Next I'm going to be stamping the stocking on both the designer series paper and on the white card, and then stamp some of the holly leaves. Okay, so I will use my Memento Tuxedo black ink pad here. I'll stamp this on a piece of the designer series paper. gone off the edge there. Stamp that one again because I just went off the bottom of the other one, and then I'm going to stamp it again on the white piece of card. Okay, so take those out of the way, and then I'm going to be using the holly in the shaded spruce. Grab another piece of card, and I'm going to be stamping some of these little holly branches. So these images are going to be fussy cut by hand. So I'm going to rough cut this one out first. And the image that I'm going to keep. I'm going to just fussy cut the whole thing. So there's our stocking. I like to take the excess card away, just makes it a little bit easier when cutting it down. I'm going to cut out the cuff, the heel and the toe. So when I fussy cut, I'm moving the card rather than the scissors. So we go far enough and we're moving it with my left hand and to come down there, and then we'll turn the card to turn the corner, not the scissors. Fussy cutting is a lot easier doing it this way. You're in more control. So there's the cuff. Now for the heel. Again, I'm moving the paper as we go. And then the heel. Sorry, that was the heel, now the toe. We can discard this middle piece, we don't need that. There we go. So there's the tombow for the top of the stocking and the toe and the heel. So apply that on there like so. And the toe will come down here. Squeezing a little bit of that glue out, excess glue around the side there. And then the heel. A bit too generous with my tombow. Okay, so there is my stocking all cut out. So now just to finish that, I'm going to use our Wink of Stella. Now I like to squeeze this. I don't squeeze it onto a project. I squeeze it out, I shake it up, and then I squeeze it just to get some liquid coming down into the barrel here. And there it comes. That's the reason we don't do it on a project. Okay, so I'm going to colour this in for the top here of the stocking. All of those white pieces, we're going to make them look nice and glittery and white. Okay, so while that one's drying, I'm going to use this liquid here and I'm going to colour in the holly leaves. I'm going to just bring that up to the camera so that you can see the difference between the coloured in ones that are sparkly and the non-coloured. So now we're back again with my card that's nearly finished. All our holly has been cut out and our stocking has been cut and glittered. So I'm going to start by placing our stocking on the side of my card here. Now this part is going to be flat, but I need some Stampin' Dimensionals raised on the toe and this side of the heel. So here and here. Put a little one on that side and a larger one on the toe. Okay, so take those off. It doesn't matter that these little pieces are overhanging here. Okay, so then this side that's going to be directly onto the topper, I've just put a little bit of Tombow multi-purpose adhesive just down the side there. So that's going to fit nicely in the shape of the sentiment, and these two are supporting to match the same depth that we have on here. We now need to decide where we're going to place our holly. Now I'm going to place them, because the join on here is white, it will blend in with the white cardstock underneath. Just put a tiny piece of multi-purpose adhesive on there and place that on there. It doesn't matter if it overhangs the card, it's quite nice to give dimension, as long as it's not overhanging the outside of the card, the shaded spruce layer here. I like to hold the pieces, the small pieces, in my tweezers and put the adhesive on. Makes it a lot easier to handle. Okay. You might decide you prefer to cut these into singles, because against the red paper here, the white will show through. Just slipping those off. It is quite fiddly, but it's worth the end result. And just pop a little tiny piece of liquid glue on there. And I'm going to put 2 pieces of holly just from the centre there. Then the other piece will be the other side. Like so. And I might have one just following in the shape of the sentiment again. I'll just put one of these on the other side on there. Okay, and I think that's all I need on there. Okay, now if you have some red berries, I have some gems here, some of the red rhinestone basic jewels, and I'm going to be placing a few of those onto where the holly joins. When you use these, make sure to lift I like to wriggle to make sure I've lifted the glue dot and not left it behind, because it's quite easy to lift the actual gem off the glue dot underneath, and then of course they won't adhere properly. So on each of those hollies, I'm just going to place a red gem. If you don't have the red ones, you can use some small white ones or clear ones or pearls and colour those in with your Stampin' Blends. With so many designs to choose from your 'Tis the Season designer series paper, there are 12 different designs, and each of those has a different design on the reverse. So there's actually 24 different patterns to choose from. I hope you've enjoyed my tutorial today. If this is your first visit to my channel, please click on the subscribe button below. And if you ring the bell too, you'll be notified of future videos as I release them. And Gina and I will be linking our videos so that you should be able to see them in a playlist. Thanks again for joining me, and I hope to see you here again soon. Bye for now.